Hi there, and welcome back to another BobBlast. Hi, I'm Bob Burridge, and this one is all about brushes. I'm asked the question a lot. What kind of a brush are you using to do that painting? Thinking that if I use that brush, I'll paint just like you. Well, I'm trying to get you to paint like you. But I'm very happy to show you the brushes that I'm currently using. All these years I've been painting with a lot of brushes. I've used them all. This is what I'm currently down to. Very simple brushes. They're acrylic brushes. I like how stiff they are, and because they can push the paint around. And also, when I thin it way down, like a watercolor, I can spread them all out and act just like a watercolor brush. So these are hard filaments. These are from Cheap Joe's catalog. And I'll show you the chart here in a minute. But they're like number 14s and 16s. You're not going to remember any of that anyway, but just know that they're pretty big, you see? And we have the Filberts, the flats, and the brights. This is a bright. Over here, we actually have some from Vermont Art Supply. And these are long-handled rock cliffs. And they're really soft. These are harder, and these are softer filaments. Great if you're doing a watercolor effect too. And so they're long-handled and they're just beautiful orange. Here's some more from Cheap Joe's. There's another line of his that I like so much, and they're kind of like the Workhorse. I mean, I can really bang these things around. I don't treat them with too much respect because they take a lot of beating, and my misuse and mishandling. Over here are the finer ones. These are some Cheap Joe brushes, American Journey, and more my watercolor effect. You can see they're like a pseudo sable. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And again, they're flat. I like the flats because I use them sideways, and they're skinnies. These are my more exotic ones. Here's a nice 3-inch wide one from Raphael. It's great for doing watercolor washes. Here's another one from Cheap Joe's for large washes. They're pretty expensive, but they're beautiful and very effective. Just excellent. Believe it or not, from the Cheap Joe catalog, I even have a brush just for the gesso. In fact, that's what they call it. It's a 2-inch gesso brush. Alrighty. And here are these beautiful metal edge. Look at the welding on here, the soldering. They're just gorgeous. And they're from the Cheap Joe catalogs also. All right. And you'll see these. There's about 2 or 3 different kind of versions. I like them because they're just so wonky and they're fun to play with. So these are the brushes that I'm currently using. Some of them may be even larger, but always use a larger brush. You can't do anything with those 2-hair brushes. As I like to say, you'll poke your eye out with those skinny brushes. But let me show you a quick demo on some of the brushes that I use. Well, you're probably wondering, why are all these pineapples here? Well, that's because that's what my demo is going to be about. I wanted to show you how I use some of these brushes. For instance, pineapples are great because they have nice little square flat sections where I can come in with my flat brush, see, just like that. Boom, 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 like that. And then I can come in and push down hard to give me kind of a sway section like that. It just sways up like that, so it's beautiful. So I can use these flat edges, obviously for the hard edges here, and certainly it's good enough to push the paint around so it's nice and soft right in here. So that's one of the reasons I like to use these flat brushes, and the Filberts too, for drawing back into it again. So let me get started. Let me quickly go do a demo just for you. So let's make a pineapple. I'm going to pick up my number 18 round. This is Joe Miller's Workhorse brush, and it really is a workhorse. So it's round, it's like a finger, you see, just like a finger. And that's what I like about finger painting too, because this acts like a finger. So it's nice and stiff. It's the first time I'm using it, so I get some of the wetness back into this. There we go. This is a watercolor. This is Kilimanjaro watercolor paper. And I've already put on it a orange gesso. I use a Holbein gesso. And it comes in those really cool bags. They come about 23 different colors of gesso. Cool, huh? This happens to be orange. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get some white. Probably can't see the white, so I'm gonna stick in some of this opera. Look at this crazy color opera. Add some yellow to it. Whoa. More, here we go. So let's get the shape. There we go. I always start off loose. Sits on a table. Up here is going to be all the green stuff. Really loose. Look how loose that is. I also like to think about the light coming across here. So I make a little arrow like that. That reminds me, where's the light coming from? All right. Let's get some color in here using this is the round. Using the same brush. Lots of water. Make sure I like the shape, the negative shape. Yeah, okay. Paint all over. Now with the same brush, because it has a nice tip, I'm going to use it to draw. Just showing you all the different things you can do with the same brush. All right. Now I want some green up in here, so I'm just going to take the same brush with all that other color in it, add lots of yellow to it. There's my green right on top of the blue. There we go. It's fun to make all this stuff up. All right, now darker on this side, because the light's coming across here, right? Get in, get out, get in, get out. Now I'm doing a little bit of negative shape painting too. Let some of the brightness of the orange underneath peek through a little bit. So it starts to paint itself. Kind of, sort of, right? I'm adding a little bit of black in here too. Just really give it some darkness over here. And make sure it's sitting down on its own shadow. All right. So even some black up in the green up in here. With the same brush, I haven't cleaned it yet. Look how muddy it is. I am going to clean it a little bit. I'm going to throw some yellow up into here. Let's get some of that opera, that hot pink opera in the drawing too, just to really freak people out. I don't see any pink in the, I do. And notice I'm painting all over. Don't stay in one place too long. Now, we're going to be using the long-handled, right? This is flat across the top. I'm going to go right in with the highlight since this is the brightest. There we go. So I'm painting the illusion. Of course, I'm not going to get out my mechanical drawing pencils and start drawing all the little hills and valleys in a pineapple. Now just to give it some more fun, more yellow up there, put some yellow, white right on top of it. Jeez, it's all over the place, wow. Whoa. Oh, man. Helps to hold the whole thing together. Now add some blue in here. This is crazy. A little blue. That's the shadow side and put some blue into the shadow of the pineapple. I'll give it a little bit of a shadow so it sits on itself. I'm going to, with the other brush, this is called a Bright, number 18. It's another Workhorse from Cheap Joe. I'm going to make the background nice and light. Over here. Let some of that pink peek through. Come in with more of this. Oh, here, wait. Oh, yeah. More and darker over here. See, this wider brush is great for large areas. Again, give it more contrast right in here. And let me come over here and wipe some of this off. Because you know how much I like to paint with paper towels. Well, here you go, paper towels. I do the paper towel thing because it's a lot faster. For this demo, I can do the same thing, certainly with a brush. Softening it with the fingers. And some highlights. Not everywhere. And let's get some of these little highlights sticking out in here on both sides. And softening this edge. Always soften that back edge. That puts the table way in the back. Bring this up here. Lots of water on my fingers. And that's the world's fastest painting of a pineapple. Get in, get out, paint everywhere. Basically showing you the three brushes that I'm using. And you don't need thousands of brushes. And I know you display them in coffee cans all over your table. Get them off your table. You're not using them. Only put on the table what's going to serve you. 2 or 3 brushes and paper towels. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this one on brushes, at least the brushes that I use currently. And think bigger. Always think bigger. Have a great day today, and I'll see you real soon on the next BobBlast. Hi there, I'm Bob Burridge, and we're going to the Bahamas this February. I cannot wait to go there with you. Can you imagine doing a workshop, painting by the beach, by the poolside for 5 days of painting? I cannot wait because it's most relaxed. I call it a paintcation. Can you imagine painting every day? But there's the bar, there's the beach, we're right there, we're relaxed, and we're creating wonderful paintings in this incredible Bahama aromas, the florals, and the wonderful aromas of the food cooking, and the ocean right there, fresh air, and perfect time of the year to get away, right? And to have a great time. It's my favorite place. I call it a paintcation. What a great name for it, a paintcation. And we're going to be painting loose abstracts. Wow! So I'll see you there, and I cannot wait to paint in the Bahamas with you.